It's time once again for Tech Friday. Gonna talk about some news and then go into the thing I made, which is a TTRPG campaign vault that you can download for free. Link will be in the video description. And also, if you're in my chat, type !vault and the link will pop up. And see it, it's right down there. Yeah, click it, look at it, do the things. All right, switch over to our new format of one thing in Obsidian, my notes, and then the websites we're going to look at. First up is this right here. Let's put it in chat. There is a severe Linux threat going on. This affects every distro. And here's the Ars Technica article doing all the explainy bits about it. It's called Copy Fail. It's a local privilege escalation, and it works across all distributions. So check to see if yours is updated. There are a few that are updated, but this does hit every single Linux distribution. So check your machine. If you're thinking about switching to Linux, maybe hold off a few days on that until security patches can be done. And you can read all the details about it at the article I posted in chat. So distributions known to have patched the vulnerability include Arch and Red Hat, Fedora, and then these three here, SUSE, Red Hat, and Ubuntu have released mitigation guidance. But every Linux distro that's not those things is vulnerable. So please check your machines. If you're going to download Linux, maybe hold off a few days just so everyone can get all patched up. All right, I wanted to bring that to the attention right at the start of stream because that is a really big deal, and I want you to all be safe out there on the internet. Mallow, hello, welcome on in. Good to see you. All right, next up is a audio recorder system I was made aware of. It's wireless, and you can get a package that contains up to 6 wireless microphones. And it's this. From Pico Gear is the Pico Recorder, world's first 8-channel 32-bit wireless recorder. And there are packages with 1 mic and up to 6 mics, so depending how much you want to spend. This is a pretty cool idea. As you can see, you have all the levels for each microphone right there on the screen. If you're recording, this here, though, their screen is the real magic. So we can hear you in surround sound, right? Just clip all 6 mics to you and then set the channels to left, right, center, and all other positions, and then do that. But yeah, this is a pretty cool idea. It claims to have a 700-meter line of sight range. You can see their small mics, wireless transmission. Again, if you're looking at microphones, go to YouTube, type in the mic you're looking at, and check out someone's videos and hear it for yourself. Because everyone's going to hear something slightly different on microphones, and make sure you like the sound for this. But you get time code, a lot of fancy features. You know, like it shows here, a wedding, you can have getting speakers, getting the preacher, getting the bridegroom, getting everybody you want. But it is pricey. So let's see. So yeah, it starts at $349. That's just for 1 microphone, though. One mic. So if you want to get more, price goes up from there. I think the high end is around $700. So just be aware of that. This competes with other things from Rode and DJI. I've only seen one video on it, so I'm still deciding on the audio quality, if it's better than what I've heard out of Rode mics or not. But again, a package with 6 mics in it, that's completely wireless. Not bad. I like the tech they're using behind it more than anything else, I think. So yeah, that's fun. And next up, we have the YOLO Cam. Oh, here's the website for the Pico Gear. And next up, YOLO Cam announced a new camera called the S7. We've talked about them before. Now, this is a little different concept than a webcam. It's sort of a mirrorless camera and webcam idea smashed together, and it's expensive, but you can buy your own lenses and add your own lens. As you can see, the body itself, this doesn't come with a lens, is $700, right? That's camera body only. So that's real expensive. This is definitely not for your first webcam. And again, I would still recommend OBSBot webcams. They are fantastic. You don't need to spend $700 on a cam. However, results look pretty good. It is 4K, and you can do a lot of tricks if you have a separate lens, which as you can see here, their 18mm f1.4 micro four thirds lens is right now $200. So that's $900 for a camera. So if that's the look you're going for and you like it, by all means do that. I'm not going to recommend it simply because of the price, but maybe if you are a small studio, this might be a pretty good upgrade for you compared to other cameras in your price range. But for the regular creator, I'm not going to recommend that. This is definitely an upgradey type product. All right, dug into there, posted that link. Also, we have Logitech has a new keyboard. Let me get this right. The G512X. Here's an article from Engadget going over all the details about it. And you can see it looks neat. And you can have both mechanical and analog switches. And there's two sizes. Yeah, 75 and 98% layouts. And, if you like marketing term things, combined with the keyboard's 39 tunneling magnetoresistance, TMR, sure, whatever that might mean. You get magnetoresistance too. Tunneling magnetoresistance. We're going to say that's magneto. And here's a look at the keyboard. When you take off the keycaps, the WASD are different for gaming needs. Ooh, and a palm rest sold separately, but that looks nice. I do like the look of this keyboard. It's $180 for the 75% or $200 for the 98% model. It's a wired keyboard. And yeah, if you like it, check it out. All right, moving on. The TMR tech is the same thing that the new Steam controllers use. Less wear, more accurate. Ah, nice. So Magnetotech. Speaking of which, Rex, that goes right into our next topic, which are the Steam controllers. They are $99. They call their TMR magnetic thumbsticks. TMR. Full set of inputs, motors, battery life, 35 hours. That's pretty good. Little controller puck. Available May 4th. So not too far away. You can order one. Play your whole Steam library. You would hope that the thing Steam is making would work with your Steam library. Looks like a nice controller. Wireless, as you can see, the little animation there. You plug in the thing. Receiver, cable, high definition rumble, whatever that might mean. Your rumble is in HD. I'm not sure how that's possible, but this controller has it. Grip enabled gyro, nice. Calling it Grip Sense. Yeah, the trackpad inclusion is interesting. Just having quick access on the left and right. I'm wondering how those work. Gamers Nexus had a video on this and explained a lot. Awesome. Of course, you can use it with Steam, Steam Deck, Steam Machine, Steam Frame, all this stuff. I like this animation. All the happy little Valve devices walking across the screen. Amazing. Love it. There's kind of an overview of all the buttons, and you can go through the rest of that yourself. All right, and thanks for that link, Rex, to the YouTube video. So if you want to know more, go to that video that Rex linked in chat. After this stream, of course, stay here first, and then you can go watch that video. Next up, y'all remember the Neo Geo? It was an expensive gaming system when it came out, and now there's going to be a retro version of the Neo Geo. Article courtesy of Engadget. So take a look at that. It's shiny looking. It's also expensive, just like the original Neo Geo was. But yeah, it still works on CRT displays if you want to, and has the original AV output. If you need it, pre-orders are currently open. It's $350 with all the things: arcade stick, limited edition Metal Slug game cartridge. Oh wait, sorry. The standard edition in classic black will only come with an arcade stick and be available for $250, and the 10 modernized game cartridges are going to be $90 a piece. And here, the original Neo Geo AES's price was $649.99. So It's always been way too expensive for me. Uh, However, I like the design. The controllers are huge and big, and you got the buttons. Love that. So if you were a Neo Geo fan, well, you have an option. I think I saw a comparison of pricing somewhere that a Neo Geo in today's money would be around $1,500. I don't remember where I saw that, but it was something close to, if this was the original Neo Geo, it would be $1,500 today. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. All right, Razer has announced new flip phone, or I should say Motorola Razer has a new lineup of their flip phones. You know, they have the front screen, you know, the dual screen things like that. I really enjoy this thing. But there's some new ones coming out. And this article comes courtesy of Tech Radar. And as you can see, there's the 2026 Razer, Razer Plus, and Razer Ultra. These all have the flip phone formula that we've seen for a couple years now. And the article has some comparisons and other tech details for your viewing pleasure. Talks about the screen size, Android 16 out of the box, which is great. Yeah, so if you want a breakdown of all the charging, the ports, the screen size, all that. And then we have the prices. The Razer Ultra start at $1,499. The entry-level Razer will be $800. And the Razer Plus will be $1,100 as well. So these are expensive phones. And if you can get a deal on them, like I got a great deal on mine when it was over a year old, I highly recommend. It's a very good phone. Just I'm not paying that much for a phone. Power Toys. If you're using Windows 11 at all, you should be using Power Toys. You just should. It has a lot of free tools. You get it off the Microsoft Store, download it. It does amazing things for you. You use Power Toys. If you have a Windows 11 machine, use Power Toys. Just do it. Anyway, the latest release notes are all right there. There's some pretty nifty things that came up. They have a grab and move, which I will show off here in just a moment. I love Windows Power Toys. The enhanced clipboard alone saves me a ton of time at work. Yeah. So they have some of the new features are grab and move, power display. They made changes to the command palette, keyboard manager improvements, and a lot more. So you can read all that, but let's show off some of these things here. Let's shrink that. And let me bring up Power Toys. It's loading. Okay, it's on. So this is the Power Toys main menu, essentially. Get a little bigger, or here we have all the things you can turn on and off. You can see what ones I turn on and use. Anyway, grab and move is pretty neat. Just turn it on here. You can change the activation key, but all you have to do is Alt and left click or Alt and right click, depending what you want to do. So if I Alt and left click, I can move the window. If I Alt right click, hold it down, I can resize the window. And I can do this from any spot on the screen. I don't have to try to grab a corner. I can just hold down the Alt key and move it around. And that is fantastic. Saves so much time. And again, you can change the activation modifier key if you want to. But this is just brilliant. I like it a lot. Nix, hello. Welcome on in. Welcome, Raiders. Hey, look, rating. Yay. Give you a shout out. Thanks for coming in. If you're new here, hi, I'm DC. I talk about tech on Fridays and TTRPGs and play video games. And there's a craft day. So come on by all throughout the week. All streams start at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Right now we're doing Tech Friday, and I'm talking about the new update to Power Toys, which is a app for Windows 11 that does a ton of useful features. So we just went over the grab and move, and let's see, what was the other one? I think for me, the grab and move was the big one. That is such a great thing. There's a bunch of them. I'm not going to go over them all here. But again, like I have advanced paste, always on top, color picker, the command palette, which the command palette is just the Windows key, Alt, and spacebar. I'll bring up a very searchable find programs, find files, find your games interface. Works a lot better than the search in Windows Explorer. Also new is this power display. So if you have multiple displays, you can now control all the things with those displays from one spot. So as you can see over here, it brought up my 3 monitors. I can control the volume, the brightness, contrast for all my monitors right here. I don't have to touch the monitors themselves. I can just use the software all in one convenient location. Again, that's power display, and you can have an activation shortcut if you want. So that was another new thing that I was quite happy to see. And yeah, if you want to know what any of these do, let me know. I will gladly talk about them. Otherwise, you can download it, try it for yourself. It's free. The only one they don't recommend using is Text Extractor. You can, but they recommend using the snipping tool to do your OCR text.pdfs instead of using this. Is recommended to use the snipping tool. Yeah, so use that. You'll get a better experience. That's the only caveat with this. Otherwise, this is a fantastic set of tools. I have this mouse highlighter on, so if I can't find my mouse, I hit Control twice, and it zeroes in on where my mouse is. Love that. Image resizer, so you can right-click on an image, and a menu will pop up, and you can change the size of an image without having to go into Photoshop or some other photo editing program. You just right-click on it, and you get options. It's wonderful. Fancy Zones is a massive time saver with my monitor. Yeah. So Fancy Zones, you get to make zones, as it were, where apps will live. And then when you activate that Fancy Zone, the apps will all pop up where you put them, just like magic, every time. So you don't have to constantly drag and resize. Fancy Zone just goes, you're all here in this configuration. And that is lovely. Right, where is that link? Okay. And, let's talk about this kind of a side note for things. But remember the Windows Phone? I do. The Windows Phone was my favorite phone interface, and I was very sad when Microsoft stopped doing it. However, fans have made a whole little community, and there was a recent update to Windows Phone apps. So if you're interested in any of that, look at that article. They've updated what used to be their Twitter app is now the Blue Sky app, for example, and a bunch of other improvements. I really like this phone. I really like the design, the interface, my favorite phone interface ever. However, I have a lot of stuff on Android, and yeah, that's just what I'm using now. All right, let's break into a couple of TTRPG things, which will lead into the big discussion, our top story. Yeah. So this is available to wishlist. It's called MythOS, and it's a fancy planning thing. What is it called? A modular system agnostic digital toolkit. So if you want to put it on your wish list when it becomes available for sale, right here it tells you all its features. You buy it once, own it forever, that type of thing. But yeah, it looks fancy. It's a lot of great pictures, what it can do. And that leads us into the top story, which is my own campaign vault. Yeah! So if you like TTRPGs and you want a way to organize your campaigns, check out my vault. It's right there. You can go to, that takes you to the GitHub. As you can see, here's the GitHub. You have a giant README section of how to install, if you've never installed Obsidian before, how to do that. And I wanted something that was basically text markdown based, so that if Obsidian were to go away, which I hope Obsidian doesn't go away, but if it did, I still have all my notes and everything, and they're human readable. I can open them in any text editor, and I can still have all the details of the adventures with my friends and the world we made together. And the basic idea is I've calling it play building instead of world building, because I want to get you playing around a table, build your world a little bit at a time. Let your let the whole group inform what happens and how things are designed in your world. And so we have this basic flow chart here. You start with your campaign outline, and then if you want to make adventures, there's a whole adventure outline for you. And then each individual time around the table is a session. And as you play and your players find things out in sessions, you move those things into a folder in player info, and you keep track of it all using properties in Obsidian, which I can show you what a property window, where properties live, because, you know, I'm using Obsidian right now. So you go over here, and there's a couple ways to do it. You can open the command palette, which is Control P or Command P if you're on a Mac, and you can type in properties, add file property, and then here's a list of properties that I've used in my thing. So if I wanted, that I've used in this particular vault for various things, you know, tags, dates on show, this for guests. Here, if I needed somebody's email or image, so there. Now I could put, now it wants me to automatically put Herb's image right in here, but I can add any URL image I want here, and I can add additional properties just by typing in whatever I want. So this is how you would keep track of your notes, because what you can do in Obsidian is create databases. They call it bases, and you create a base, and then you can filter it by folder, not URL, Herb, right? And you can filter the base. You know, you point the base, you go, okay, I want this file, so I want my NPCs to display in this database, but I only want the NPCs that I've labeled as deities. So if you made a property of NPC, and maybe you make another property that's a deity, now you have a list of only the divine beings you have put into your world. And it makes it real easy, real fast. You don't have to worry about a mountain of folders. You just have a few folders. You know, each adventure, each session gets its own folder, and you only put in the things you need for that adventure or that session in the folder. And then when your party discovers them, by all means, put them up on screen. And let me try to bring up, oh, right. Had to re-expand a thing, because I can just show you what this all looks like. And we'll close that. So here it is. And we're right now on the NPC databases demo. So this is looking in the NPC folder that I have under player info, characters, NPCs, and it's pulling up Cheeky McButts and Thomas Tank Engine. And then if I need to know anything about them, I just click them, and here's the Cheeky McButts note. I can add whatever I want. It, like, makes penguin noises while sleeping. That's all we really know about Cheeky McButts, other than they're a person and they make penguin noise while sleeping. They can fill it out from there. And so there's the main sections. There's the instructions, which you should read first. All right here. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Go right through them. And then copy this folder. That way you have all of this, and you can rename this to whatever your campaign is. And you'll always have a pristine copy of the vault in this particular vault. So vault within vault, right? But you'll always have a pristine copy, and then you change the name to whatever your campaign is and go at it. You can add whatever you want, but the main parts are the DM info, the player info. As you can see, we get campaign. So I made a campaign outline, and I have suggestions for things you can do for your campaign. That's probably what you want to share with players. So, you know, making 3 main antagonists, and then their primary goal, forces for, forces against. And don't make a whole lot here. Just a couple sentences, maybe, of each of these. The antagonists can have their own notes, and you can put them either in your adventure, like I said, adventure name folder. There's an adventure outline. I even give you a scene text key if you want to add things. It's just the pipe character and an uppercase letter, so that when you're looking through your adventure, you see the pipe character and an uppercase letter and then a space. You're like, oh, this is a different thing. You know, here's my read aloud text, here's my NPC dialogue, and you can easily tell the different things. I even give you a little demo of how I might use it. Then you have your session. So I have a session 0, session 1, session outline. And if you don't use adventures, that's fine. You don't have to. You can just fill out your campaign info and have different sessions. Up to you. And then the other thing is secrets, which I have as a secrets master list. That way, when you make a NPC, you can put the NPC in the player's info, but they don't get the secret, right? The secret comes later. So I have, oh, this is, why is it basic? Okay, it's showing me the whole path here. Not quite what I meant to do, but all right. Anyway, and so the secret of make penguin noises when sleeping, party finds it out. I just copy it, go back to the note, and paste it into what the players know about this character. And then I can take it out or check it off if you want to make a checkbox, whatever you want to do. And that way you have your secrets for everything all in one place, and you just add them and check them off as players go through your story, if they even hit all of them. And then I have a place for maps and rules references. So if there's any parts of the rules you're constantly turning to, you can, if you got a PDF of it or off a website, can make a screen grab, put them in here, so you just have that information accessible. Then player info, we have monsters, magic items, characters, maps, session notes. This is for your players to make their own session notes. Have them there. Also, they can make notes on their own characters because they have PC. And what you want to do is find a way to share the player info with your players. And there's multiple ways of doing this. If you want to, I have a video up on YouTube kind of going through a bit more. And you can find examples of how to share your pieces of your vault in the instructions. But yeah, so you have your area, which is the DM info area, and then the player info area, which you share with your players, however you want to do that. And there are lots of ways to share that, whether it's you have a Google Drive set up, and because these are all folders on your hard drive and files, so you could just copy the folders into a space on a Google Drive or a OneDrive or whatever cloud storage you use. And then as long as you're updating it with the most recent things, your players can go to that and, you know, look at the new things as they get updated. Or there's ways to just share this part of the vault without anyone else downloading Obsidian. Or if you have a favorite note-taking app, you can just copy this structure and this idea and use it in any app that does something similar. If for some reason you shouldn't like Obsidian, but I don't know you. If you don't like Obsidian, what's the problem? Yeah, so it's there. It's free. Please go do the things. Check it out, and let me get you the link to the YouTube video if you want a slightly longer walkthrough. Getting there, and you can see my edited live demo video. So there's that. Want to see what it's all about? Go there, do the things. All right. Hey, it's just about break time. Look at that. It's almost like I planned this. Amazing how that worked. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, thanks for being here, and I'll be back next week with another Tech Friday. Make sure you like and subscribe, and come on back. It'll be exciting, I'm sure. And it'll be fantastic to see you, so have a great evening, or whatever time zone you're in. Have a great blank, insert time of day here. Thanks for watching. See you later.